I've been using small to medium-sized gravel in sustainable aquariums with fish and creatures. Creatures hide in gravel from fish predating on them. Fish poop and detritus visually disappear in layers of gravel while serving as food for those creatures. Here you can see 3 types of gravel in a 2-year-old tank without water changes. And that's about a 5-year-old tank without water changes. Gravel is the best medium for long-term use in sustainable aquariums. Naturally, gravel was the first choice for me to use in sustainable paludarium I set up for eastern newts. Also, I used rocks, flat rocks in particular, for making flat feeding spots and caves. And speaking of flat feeding spots, I tried a couple variations. Initially I used the bottom glass surface as a flat feeding spot. And then I set up a cave of some sort using a flat rock. It looks pretty and fun to watch newts. It turns out that the glass surface is hard for newts to walk on. And it took many weeks for my wild-caught newts to get used to reflections. Newts seeing reflection in the glass get confused, especially so during hunting. Here you can see newts still pondering about reflections a month after I put them in this tank. How do you explain the physics of light and reflections to a newt? Newts perceive their own reflections as a threat during hunting. Newts may get scared or try to fight the reflection. Here you can see a female newt named Shishai bumping into her reflection in the wall. I figured that it would be better to let algae grow on the walls to reduce the reflection. And here is an example of a newt bumping into his reflection in the bottom glass. Good thing the newt wasn't going the full attack speed, which could be lightning fast. And here a newt gets confused by the reflection of a worm. Which worm is real? Attacking the reflection could be harmful to newts. And so, covering the bottom glass is necessary for newt's sake. I used flat rocks to make a feeding spot in the middle of the tank that takes about 1/3 of the bottom surface. Please check my video about flat feeding spots for details. The flat feeding spot is fenced on both sides by rocks and large-sized gravel. The fence on each side of the feeding spot covers another 1/3 of the bottom surface. And the rest of the bottom is covered with medium-sized gravel. It's important to take newts' behavior into account for figuring out what gravel they may prefer. Eastern newts spend a good deal of time hunting creatures hiding on the bottom of the tank. Here you can see a female newt on a routine hunt digging in the gravel. She likes snails and scuds. Moving even medium-sized gravel could be hard for that small delicate newt. Large to swallow rocks help to reduce choking hazards for newts. Red-spotted newts don't have teeth and can swallow only what fits in the mouth. Newts grab anything in the mouth to check if it fits before swallowing it. Newts spit out things that don't fit well. And there are things that fit in the newt's mouth and yet are very hard to swallow. Swallowing a thin wilted leaf is very problematic for a newt. The newt appears struggling. Body convulsions reflect the difficulties it experiences. And the newt cannot spit the leaf out as it would with a large to swallow rock or shell. I've seen newts struggling to swallow leaves on different occasions. So I start removing wilting leaves from the tank until I grow a large enough colony of scuds to deal with it. Yes, scuds would chew those wilted leaves clean, saving newts from choking and me from cleaning. And newts and fish enjoy eating scuds. Here's another instance of a newt choking on a wilted leaf. I'm still pondering why newts eat wilting leaves. It could be the same reasons dogs eat grass, to clean guts. Nature is full of puzzles, and this is one of them. Well, let's get back to the gravel. What is the best gravel for newts? The size of the gravel is less important than the shape. Even adult eastern newts are too small to swallow medium or large sized gravel. Gravel is not really a choking hazard for newts. The sharp edges of anything in the aquarium could cause more harm to newts, and fish for that matter. Red-spotted newts fight violently during mating season. Newts smash bodies over anything standing in their ways when they fight, hunt or escape. So, avoid using sharp-edged gravel of any size in the tank with newts. Other than that, newts should be fine with. Yeah, newts can move very fast. I avoid using sand in my aquariums for a number of reasons that I will explain in a future video. So again, I provide newts with a huge flat surface for feeding surrounded by large gravel, and the rest area covered by medium-sized gravel. It works well so far to satisfy my newts. I will keep you updated. Have fun and happy newts!